Hello everyone, this is a quick video showing you how to do this parabolic max-min challenge problem. All right, we're at the end of this unit. We're trying to show how you can use your knowledge of a quadratic function to solve a problem. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to come up with your own scenario that involves some situation that can be modeled by a quadratic function. And what we're really looking at is two things that are going to multiply to make your revenue, your income, or your area of something. Any two things that multiply to make another thing qualify if you think creatively about it. So for instance, it could be the area of like a rectangular pasture that's being fenced in. You have a length and you have a width, and you multiply those two things. Length times width gives you area. In this particular example, I was just thinking of something that I manufacture that then I sell at a price, and I want to make profit, or I want to make some revenue off of that. So what I'm imagining in my particular scenario is that I'm manufacturing a two-pack of COVID-19 masks. So I've got these nicely handmade, hand-sewn masks here. Look at what the quality is. And I'm going to sell two of these for $6. And when I went to like the farmer's market in town, and I had my desk and I sold masks, I sold them at $6, and I sold them for the whole weekend, and I sold 80 of them, we'll say. All right, so I want to try to maybe adjust my price and sell more or less and make more money. So that's my benchmark amount. So as you go through this checklist of things to do, you want to come up with some sort of scenario that fits the bill. And I'll give you a few more examples at the end. But in this particular one, like I said, I'm selling masks at $6 a pair, and I sold 80 of them. All right, so I know that in this one weekend I made around $480 in revenue. All right, now I was asking people as they were paying for them after they had already made their decision. I'm like, did you think they were too expensive? Do you think they were about right? And a couple people said, well, actually, I think you could charge more for them. But my sense was that out of those 80 people I sold, that there were probably about 4 that if I charged $1 more, 4 people would be like, no, that's too expensive for me. Okay, so my next data point would be that if I went to $7, I would have sold 76 of them. Okay, so you need to imagine a first case, and then what would a change in one of the two variables, what would you guess it would result in the other one? And in order for this to work, you can't say if I charge more, I'll sell more. That might happen in real life, but not in this scenario, at least not right now. Usually if you charge more money, you will sell fewer of those things. It's the law of like supply and demand, that as you price something higher, you'll sell fewer of them. All right. So think of your own scenario. When one is fixed, if I sold 60 widgets at $20, then I'd make 120. Okay, so there's another example for you, but I'm working with this one. And then what would you think would happen if you changed one? So I've already gotten to step number 3 when I've done this. Write a modification to step number 3 in factored form. Okay, so down here, I'm going to do that. If I was going to modify my original 6,80, and I take some amount, and I increase the price by some dollar amount, 6 plus X is my unknown dollar amount, and it could be half of a dollar, it could be 3/4 of a dollar, it could be $1.50, but X stands for dollars. Okay, what do I think would happen to the 80? We think it's going to go down by 4. So if this stands for $1, I need to take 80 and then take away 4 times X. So think through that math, right? For every 1 that I go up here, I'll go down 4 over here, just like I want in my second data point. All right, once you get this, that's pretty great. You go to your calculator, and you go to, turning it on first works really great. And I've typed it in here already. Hopefully you can see that I have X added to 6 and 80, whoops, I made it minus 3X. All right, I'll make it minus 4. And now that you've got that typed in, It's good to just start with a standard window. So I do zoom, and then you'll notice that 6 here is the standard window. Okay, that doesn't mean that you press zoom 6 every time you want to graph, because it'll keep going back to this standard window. But it's a good place to start. And I see a line going up. What does that mean? Well, that probably means that my parabola is going up and then coming down somewhere off screen, all right? And we should be expecting that, because remember, we know about zeros of parabolas, and I'm multiplying these two. So when I type it into my calculator, I'm actually going to type it in like that, because that's multiplying. I know I'm going to get a 0 there at -6, so I should not be shocked to see that 0 there at -6. I just need to zoom out. So if I go to my window, and if I want to zoom out, that's one way to do it. I can also just change the window, but zooming out is number 3. Every time I hit enter, I will zoom out. I don't have it yet. Oh, there I see it. So I see the parabola going up, the parabola coming down. I just need to see much higher. Remember, our little example here was about 480, so I know it should go up to around 500. That's where I press window, and I ask myself some common sense questions. Will I ever charge, will I ever take $40 off of a $6 price tag? No. So I'm going to go to like -7 there. Maybe I could charge as much as 40. Whoops, I did something wrong. That's the wrong, I did that on purpose. I need -7 there, not subtract 7. Everybody does it, and I just did it there. I saw some of you guys in class do it, so just be careful. Your calculator tends to tell you when you've used the wrong symbol. I know that it's unlikely that I go up to 40, but I'm not sure, maybe. This is just my scale mark for my X values. I'm going to do that every $5. But be really clear in your mind that X stands for dollars, right? Not how many of these I'm selling. Down here is where I go up to my plus 480 amount, right? I'm going to say maybe I can make up to $600 or $700. So whatever your 480 is, you can double it if you do your test amount where you multiply those. So I'll just say 750, and then I'll have my scale be every 50. And now I'll press graph. I'm not going to press zoom 6, because it will just reset things. And look at that, I got it first try, okay? Clearly I don't need to go up to 40, but I can see the top, all right? So your goal is to maximize your revenue. There are other scenarios where maybe you're trying to minimize something and the parabola is going downward. If you can invent that scenario, that would be awesome. I will leave it to you to imagine that. But in this case, what I care about is when it's going to be at the maximum, and maybe when my profit might be 0 for some reason. So let's try to find those 2 points. If I just go to trace, I can just trace up and find that. And I can just look at my X and my Y values, and it looks like when I'm at around 7, 675, 676, 675. So it looks like it turns out that my maximum is going to be around $7. All right. I can also find that using the calculator by going second and trace will get me the maximum finder. And all I need to do is be a little bit to the left, hit enter, make sure I go a little bit to the right, anywhere to the right of my maximum, hit enter a third time, and it will tell me that it's 6.9999. That's the calculator round off error, but yes, it's 7, and I get $676, okay? So use the graph to answer the important questions you have for your scenario. What is the maximum amount of money I can make? So I would just say, well, max when the price is $7, okay? And then I would show that in my graph. All right, so for my homework, you don't need to type anything up. You just need to sketch a graph. You could do this on Desmos and print out what this looks like, but I would definitely show my parabola going up and coming down. I'd show the maximum is at 7 and $676, okay? So that is hopefully going to help you produce your own invented problem with the Parabolic Max Min Challenge. Good luck.